Hello Year 8. So we're starting a new module. We're looking at nutritional needs. So we're doing kind of a little bit of a background lesson today. So we're focusing on what the nutritional needs are of different life stages, so different ages essentially. So just have a quick look at these shapes on the screen. They're all pretty similar size, made up of lines and colours. But just have a quick think, are they all the same? Do you think they needed exactly the same things to make them? Same colour, same amount of time, same amount of colour? And now if you apply that thought process to people, we'll kind of get started on what we're doing in terms of life stages and nutrition. So, just like those shapes, different stages of our lives, our bodies are very, very different. Obviously, your bodies will vary between person to person, but your individual body will vary throughout life as well. And we require different amounts of nutrients at different stages of life in order to thrive. And by thrive, I don't just mean that we're surviving, but for our body to function as well as it can do. There are also typical lifestyle kind of factors associated with different age groups, different life stages, and they will also have an impact on our nutritional needs. That's not to say people can only fit into one bracket, and we're going to look at some other different nutritional needs in the coming weeks. So the main stages we're going to look at are young children, teenagers or adolescents, adults, and then older adults. Your first task is you're going to create a TikTok profile for the different life stages. I will show you how you're going to do that in a moment, but there will be a template popped onto Teams for you, and then there will also be some appropriate resources there for you to gather the information from. So I will show you how you're going to do that now. Bear with me, sorry. Okay, so this is on the right hand side is an example of some information on nutritional needs of different age groups. There are a number of different resources that you will find kind of available to you, and you can cherry pick the information from whichever ones you please, but you just might find that you prefer looking at one resource over another. They're all in Word documents, so they should all be reasonably accessible for you. On this PowerPoint on the right hand side, you can see I've arrowed to all of the different sections that need to be completed. So if I zoom in at the top, you can see, and these are all editable boxes, but they shouldn't move anywhere. So life stage, if we concentrate on children, I can write children 5 to 12 years. You can then just find an image from the internet. On some of the resources there might be an image you can pinch, and you're going to pop that in there. If you are a whiz with a computer, you can insert it actually into the circle, so it's a circle shape, otherwise just plonk it over the top, it really doesn't matter. And then you're just going to repeat that life stage down here for your handle as well. Then age range again, so lots of it is kind of repeating different bits of information, but that's not a problem. For some of them, so for this kilocalories per day, so that's your calories, and for deficiencies, that isn't necessarily shown on the resource that I've got open here. There are some bits of information that are on some of the other resources. But if you just go to the internet, so I've just typed in how many kilocalories per day should a child eat, make sure you're using a reputable source. So ideally something from the UK. NHS is always a really good place to start. And if I click on here and scroll down, it gives me a rough idea of how many calories. You can just take an average because we're obviously looking at an age range rather than an individual age. Again, you can either do it for boys or girls. The main reason there will be a slight difference between boys and girls is purely down to most boys are of a larger size than most girls, but that obviously isn't kind of accurate for everybody, but we're just going to have to do it for averages at the moment. So if I return back here, so you type these in here, then if we scroll down, this is where we're getting the key piece of information. So it's asking for macronutrient requirements. If you think back to last half term or even last year, we looked at micronutrients, and we did speak briefly about macronutrients. Your macronutrients are the things you need a lot of in your diet, and they're carbohydrate, protein, and fat. You can see on here on the Word document, if I zoom in, for children aged 5 to 12 years old, it speaks about both protein and carbohydrate. So you would type in here, protein, if I can spell it correctly, to help them grow and repair the body. You would then do the carbohydrate, any other macronutrients, there's also fat on there as well. And then you'd go to micronutrients, which are those vitamins and minerals we've spoken about previously. And so again, you select which nutrient and you write the reason for needing it. You can also add in some foods that are good sources of those different nutrients. You can either find that from the resources I've popped into Teams, or just from Google if you want to add some extra detail to your profile. This final column, it's just other important information. So it's kind of these extra bullet points on this resource. And then there are, all the resources are formatted in a different way, just so that there's preference there for however you want to learn. So it might be that you write eating habits of children may be adopted from their parents, so families should eat healthily together. And that can be added into that other information, okay? You will find on the template, if I minimise this again, that all those arrows aren't there. I will keep the arrowed one at the start, just so you can see all of the sections you need to complete, but it should be reasonably self-explanatory, okay? If I ping back to here. So once you've done the different life stages that you have been asked to do by your teacher, you're then going to move on to the second and final task, and you're going to come up with a lunch dish suitable for teenagers or adolescents. And your dish needs to meet a few different criteria. So obviously it needs to be suitable to eat at lunchtime. It needs to be something that most teenagers would be happy to choose to eat. Obviously you're not going to be able to come up with something that every single teenager in the world is going to eat, but something that is appropriate for that age group. And then making sure that it meets some of their specific nutritional requirements. So those nutrients that I've just gone through quickly with you there, you need to pull 3 of those and make sure that the foods in your dish are high in those nutrients. So for example, you might do a sandwich, all right, and if they need carbohydrates, you would use bread, because bread is a good source of carbohydrate. To portray your idea, so the way you actually do the task, you can either sketch it out and annotate it, so label the different parts, why they're there, what nutrients they're giving. You can bullet point the parts of the dish and explain each one, or you can write a paragraph explaining the different parts of your dish. I don't mind which way you choose, so long as you're getting the factual information down, and I can see that you've managed to apply that to the task. Okay, thank you very much.